Good morning. This is Norma Cowie, and this is my Sunday thought. I was getting a little pensive because my connection wasn't coming in together, and I was just beginning to wonder, is this not coming in? But today, I'm talking about faith. I just have finished watching the ends of the Olympics, so I have a little pre-talk before that. I'm an Olympic fan. I am an old sports jock. I suffer from sports injuries from when I was a teenager and before I came to Canada. Uh, the old bones, especially my knees, back, etc., are still having effects from falls that I've taken on tennis courts and grass hockey fields and things like that. But there's something about the Olympics that touches my heart. Everybody coming together, everybody doing their best to do what they do. This year in particular, I was watching what do they call it? Up on the half pikes and the skiing and the snowboarding and going through the air and twisting and turning. And I was enthralled with that. I truly was. But I also like the opening ceremonies and the closing ceremonies. And I get quite emotional, actually, today in the closing ceremonies. And I had been wondering, because I hadn't really paid too much attention, where the next Olympics were going to be in 2024. And that's in Italy. Two cities have joined together so they can have some in the city and Milan and some up in the hills. And that would be the skiing, I'm sure. So that was kind of had to take a breath after that. But in light of what's gone on here, excuse me, in the last week, I really thought that today would be appropriate, being Sunday, and this is my Sunday thought, my inspirational thought more, is to talk about faith. Now, I over the years, I feel that a lot of people's faith comes from their upbringing. Whether they were taught anything about a supreme being of any kind, or whether they were taught to believe in themselves. I didn't have a very good self-image when I was growing up, but I did have a sense of there was something bigger. And I've spent my life working to figure that one out for many, many years until I felt for myself I had. Now, as adults, we find that we basically have faith in relation to when things happen. We go, oh, good, if this happened and, life's smiling on me and all is well. But when it doesn't do that, I find that very often people blame whatever they believe in, especially others. Oh, it has to be so-and-so's fault. It's never anybody's fault. What I always say is it just is. But what I find a lot of is that, number one, people don't always want to accept responsibility for their own actions, their own thoughts, which, as far as I'm concerned, help create whatever's going on anyway. Well, it's not so much it creates often, it creates how you respond to what's going on. And we do have ups and downs. We do have times when we get upset and we get depressed, or we have very certain viewpoints on things. And I think that's where, which I've spoken on before, about being able to accept others and differences. And it's difficult sometimes when you really feel that what you think and feel is what you believe in. I really do think that having faith in life and having faith in yourself is a full-time prerequisite of being able to traverse the ups and downs in life. I have spoken on this before that, as I grew up didn't grow up, I was already an adult, in the self-growth area and spiritual understanding and getting a philosophy that worked for me. This whole thing says, you create your reality. And I had to really look at that. And I know I've spoken about this, especially on Norma Talks, but I really, how much of our reality do we create? Very often what we're doing is we're scrambling to figure out what to do with what's going on. And it's how we respond. I have a saying that my students often smile at, because I'll just say, it just is. It's isness. Now, what do you decide to do about it? And sometimes we'll decide things that don't work out. Sometimes what we want to have happen doesn't turn out. How do we respond to that? How do we have that work? How do we keep that going and looking and being and all those things? Faith, I feel, is a very, very important fact. And it's one aspect of my transformation work is that I work to have a session on faith and trust in self. Then we can look at life and others. But we need to have that faith and trust in ourselves to trust our own gut feeling, to trust our own feelings of what's coming up. We do get sad and we do get mad. We do get all those things. That's a normal, natural human response. And to deny that, I don't think is very good. And it means we really don't have faith in our own selves. Having faith in who we are, how we respond, and what we do, I feel is so, so important. Because it goes with, first of all, our belief in who we are as a being, how we respond to things. Because how we respond is going to determine where we probably go and how we feel next. But also in having faith, for me, having a faith in an energy that I know is all loving has really helped me through the tough times. Because I'm like everybody else. I get incredibly emotional about things. I can get very depressed. I have been very depressed at times in my lives. And it's only knowing that that force is there loving me, only knowing that I have support to create more, that I sometimes have been able to go on. I've had one of those lives that had lots of changes in it. Some I didn't plan on. Some I've orchestrated. And yet I have faith that life, I actually want to say, I have faith in human beings. I have faith in people. I have faith that life itself, even though sometimes times have been very dark, that we come to the nth degree of understanding and seeing. We have something which I haven't talked about yet, I don't believe. I need to probably do that. And I'll make a note right now. Here's my pen. On persistence. Are we persistent? I'm writing that in because I have, unfortunately, sometimes I don't remember things like that I want to. So I'm learning how to write things down. That's called adjustment, being able to adjust, being able to think. But let's get back to faith for a moment as I just complete this. Please take a second and think about, what do you really have faith in? I have faith that the universe is there to support me. It's not like often a lot of people think that there's something above telling you do this, and this, and this. I don't believe in that. For me, I don't believe in that. But I do believe I am loved. And I do believe that that loving support is always there no matter what. It is up to me to advise or tell and look at the people when I'm talking to the great power, I'll say the loving power, the all existing power, for inspiration. I definitely ask for inspiration because sometimes I get locked in my own head about all these things and what I want to have happen, which isn't happening. What am I going to do? And finding peace. So here's another word, peace. How do we find that? I think our faith brings that. I think our faith brings an understanding that we may not like what's happening right at this moment, but we have more and more and more people have faith and do what they need to do, because different people can do different things. They can lead and they can help to move things into an area so they create the outcome that they want. I really wish and trust and hope and pray that each one of you will look at your faith and determine, where do you put your faith? Do you put your faith in humankind and yourself? Do you put your faith in your relationships? Do you put your faith in family? Anything. That is to be clear where it is and where you perhaps need to shore your faith up a little bit by recognizing there is a divine force that loves you and always, always wants to support you in whatever it is that you do. There's no judgment in that force. It only is love. And so on that note, knowing that you're loved, I just wish you and desire and pray that you have faith in that love and faith in that understanding that you're strong and that you're able to move forward. And so that concludes this Sunday. Just want to remind you, I will be back on Monday, which is tomorrow night, for my mental mind treatments, a new avenue I'm putting out. I'm getting good reports about it, but I do need more people to come on in and ask me their questions that they want prayer, the type of prayer that I do there for them. And then again on Wednesday, I will be back for Norma Talks. Please remember to press likes, subscribe. What else is there? I know people keep telling me, Norma, you're not saying, you need that. Yes, we do need that. So whatever you need to do, do it. And I have faith that you'll support. Bless your hearts. Thank you. Bye.